Shalom Israel. Shalom. It's Brother Gabriel coming to you with another video. Lord willing, this video is edifying to those who seek learning, to the elect of the nation of Israel, the sheep that are seeking out this truth. Shalom. Big shalom to all of the brothers, the Akim out there on the highways and byways, doing the works of the Lord, pushing His truth, staying diligent. Shalom to all of the mighty Aqua, the sisters in this thing that are reverencing the husband, staying true and faithful to the husband, taking care of the household, teaching good things to the children and other women. And shalom to the young ones in this thing, who staying diligent, fighting against the lust of the flesh and the lust of this world, Salakia. Right? I'm going to a quick video here about we know who Esau is through prophecy, right? So I'm gonna go through a few scriptures here, man, and kind of just show you, and Lord will improve real quickly who Esau is through prophecy in the Bible. Because, when you first come into this thing, sometimes you kind of have that it resonates with you in the spirit that you know who Esau is, that you know Esau is the white man. But, we got to have biblical proof, man. We got to have those scriptures to back this thing up, right? So it's not just enough to know, but we also have to be scripturally prepared to defend what we believe, right? Salakia. So I'm gonna go through here and give a couple of precepts. Lord willing, these precepts are edifying to those who are seeking learning, right? So let's go to Genesis chapter 27 and 39 into Esau's blessing, right? Because one of the ways that we know who Esau is today, man, is understanding what his blessing was. And, when, we know Esau sold his birthright to Jacob, and that, Jacob stole what was supposed to be Esau's blessing, right? Righteously, right? Because that's how it was supposed to be played out, right? As said in the book of Acts. But here, let's go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. We're going to find out what Esau's blessing, right? And it reads, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above," right? So we see that the so-called white man is living in the fatness of the earth right now, right? Majority of them live in the best places to live, right? You know what I'm saying? They live in the best places in the city. They live in the best places in the suburbs, right? The nice big mansions and the nice houses, the nice high-rise apartments, the nice luxury apartments, penthouses, things like that, right? You know what I'm saying? They drive. Usually they are able to afford the best cars, some of the most expensive cars, the newest cars. You know what I'm saying? They're able to, have the best of the material things that this world has to offer, right? They own the biggest companies. They own, all of the infrastructures, or the major infrastructures ran by most of the world, especially here in America and in Europe and in other places throughout the world. They own all these things and they control all these things, right? So they have the fatness of the earth, right? And most of the richest men in the world right now is the so-called white man, right? Most of the richest people, most of the people who have wealth, especially here in Babylon, right? So-called white people, right? So that's one of Esau's blessing is his dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, right? And then when we read in verse 40, "And by thy sword shalt thou live," right? And by thy sword. How did they gain all of these things? How did they get all of these things, right? They didn't earn it. They didn't come over and buy it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come over here and work for it. No, they took it. They took it with the sword. Or in modern terms, man, the modern day sword is the gun, right? They came over, they used weaponry, They use different tactics of war, disease. They weaponize a lot of things to get the things that they have, right? You know what I'm saying? They weaponized, they used war against the Israelites and us, you know what I'm saying? The tribe of Gad, the tribe of Judah, and then the other tribes to gain control over the land here in Babylon the Great, right? So by the sword shall they live. And that's how we see how the so-called white man is living right now, right? So that's verse 40 in Genesis 27 and 40, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 4. Let me get to it. Right, this is the book of Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 4. And it reads, "And remember the wicked slaughter of harmless infants, and the blasphemies committed against his name, and that he would show his hatred against the wicked," right? So this is talking about, back in the Maccabean age, where the Greeks, they were trying to Hellenize the Jews, Hellenize the southern kingdom at the time that was left in the land of Israel, and they were, they were doing heinous things, man. They were torturing people. They were killing babies, just like they did here in slavery. You know what I'm saying? They killed your baby if your baby got out of line, or what they considered getting out of line. They fed your babies to alligators. You know what I'm saying? They did very wicked things to our children, man. And they did the same thing back then, right? And it says, that he would show his hatred. It's talking about the Most High against the wicked, right? So let's find out who the wicked is according to the scriptures, right? So look, let's go to Job chapter 9 and 24, bring that out. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Right? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. Right? And we see that in these days. We see how wicked things are in this world and across the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because as seen in Revelations, man, the other nations have drinking of the wine of Babylon, man. And what that means is, man, they're taking on all these doctrines and all these philosophies, and we see that the so-called white man controls the earth, right? You can't go anywhere in this world and escape what's called white supremacy, or escape what's called white racism. You know what I'm saying? There's nowhere in the earth that you can go to escape from that. You can't even go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to South America. You can't go anywhere and escape that, because they control the whole world right now, right? So the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked. And we see all across the world, man, homosexuality is being accepted. Whoredom of the women is being accepted. Prostitution is being accepted. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these things are starting to be considered normal, especially here in Babylon the Great, but in other places across the world, man. And people are, starting to normalize and accept degeneracy, right? So the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked, and we see that in these days here, right? So let's go to Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Right? Let's see who the wicked is, according to the scriptures. It's the book of Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. And it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they should build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Right? So the nation of Esau, or Edom, is called the border of wickedness. Right? So that's who the wicked is, man. According to the scriptures, according to Malachi 1:4, Edom, Esau, Edom, which is another name for Esau, is called the wicked, right? So, or the border of wickedness, right? So now and a lot of times what's going on when it's said in the scriptures, the wicked, man, is talking about the so-called white man, right? And Esau, right? That's what it's talking about. So let's go here to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8. Salaki, chapter 6. Verse 8. And it reads, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? Actually, you know what? Let's go back to Genesis 27 and 40. I didn't read that whole thing, right? Didn't read the whole thing. Genesis 27 and 40. It's the point I'm going to make, right? So this is Genesis 27 verse 40. And it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. It's talking about Esau's blessing again. And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? So it said that Esau shall serve his brother, meaning he shall serve Jacob. Right? Now this was a future prophecy that was fulfilled in David's time. Right, when David had ruled in Israel, they had put Esau, or put the nation of Edom, the Edomites, in subjection, right? And what it says, that it shall come to pass that Esau shall break his yoke from off thy neck, meaning Esau shall, be free from serving Jacob, right, and have dominion, meaning dominion over the whole world in the latter days, right? As we see now. Esau does have dominion, right? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. And it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So we're living in the end times right now. And Esau is the end of the world. Esau is controlling the world right now at the end, right? So we see this, we see this right now because we see what's going on, man. According to prophecy, we are in the end of the world, right? So let's prove it. Let's prove it here, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. Right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3. And it reads, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right? So let's skip down to 14. Let's skip down to 7. And this is Yahushua speaking the red letter. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, right? So right now we're seeing, and we've seen before, man, with World War I, World War II, And as it says in the book of Revelations, man, the second woe has passed and the third one cometh quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that's talking about it's talking about the world wars, right? So, you know, the world, all World War I, II, and III is in the scriptures, man. And it's talking about these things. So we are already seeing, and we have been seeing, nation rising against nation, right? We're just waiting on this third world war to kick off, right? So nation shall rise against nation. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, man. We're seeing different pestilences coming about, man. We're seeing monkeypox, you know what I'm saying? The COVID, you know what I'm saying? The Colt 45 virus, you know what I'm saying? We're seeing these different things come to pass, man. These different pestilences, man. They got polio, talking about polio now, man. There's all types of stuff going on right now, right? And in a major way, man. Where they're talking about having more shutdowns and stuff like that, right? And then famines, you know, they're already talking about pretty soon there's going to be a major shortage of food all across the world because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, right? Russia and Ukraine is rising up against each other, Taiwan and China. You know, we got all these things going on, and that's showing that we're at the end of the world, man. And we're just waiting on the third world war to kick off, right? And Yahweh Shah said, these shall be the signs of the coming of the end, right? So we're supposed to be watching and paying attention to these things so that we know and that we're spiritually prepared for what's coming, right? So let's get down to 14. Salakia, let me drop that. Let me go to Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. Let's get more into who Esau is, right? Right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not, right? So it says that, you know, Esau is bare, and the Lord has uncovered his secret places, man. Meaning all of these secret things, man, all of these things that were so-called mysteries or conspiracy theories or just plain secrets, man, that they kept, they're starting to come out now, right? They're starting to come out more details of what happened in slavery, more details of what happened in Jim Crow, more details of the things that they tried to cover up in history and everything like that, man. All these things are starting to come out now in these last days, right? And Esau's secrets are being uncovered, right? And he has made Esau bare, right? If you look at statistics right now, I believe 21 or 24, maybe that might be, don't quote me on that, but that might be the correct number. That might be a number of states here in America where so-called white people have negative birth rates, right? Where more white people are dying than are being born, right? So, Salakia, that's talking about his seed being spoiled, right? So, you know what I'm saying? More so-called white people are dying in a multitude of states than are actually being born right now, right? So, right, this is a prophecy about Esau in the last days, right? So let's go to Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. Salakia. And it says, how are the kings, Salakia, this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. And it reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? And how are his hidden things sought up, right? And basically going back into what Jeremiah 49 and 10 was talking about, uncovering these secrets, right? Revealing these secrets of all of these things that have happened in history and happened in times past and are still going on right now. All of these so-called secret societies and things like that, man, that's going on right now that we are really finding out about today, man. That's what these scriptures are going into right now, right? So that's more proof of how we know who Esau is. the so-called white man is. And then another thing where it says Jeremiah 49:10 that Esau cannot hide himself no more, right? They try and hide the fact that that's who they are, right? So-called, I don't want to say so-called, but, Dan Vocab Malone is talking about some, Esau is extinct, right? They're trying to hide the fact. And this dude, he makes a video about the Hebrew Israelites damn near every day. And he talks about how Esau is extinct, right? But they can't tell you who the last Edomite was, right? Esau is not extinct. Esau is the so-called white man, right? And they're trying to hide that. But the Israelites, the prophets, man, we're bringing this thing out. We're bringing this thing out and we're letting you know who Esau is, right? So let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36:5. I'm going to go ahead and close out with this one. Book of Ezekiel chapter 36:5. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Right? So Idumea is just a Greek way of saying Edom, right? And it's saying that, Idumea has appointed the land of the Most High, the land of Israel, to their own possession. Right now, who is living in that land right now? Right? Who is living in that land? Right? Edomites. The Edomites are living in the land of Israel right now. Namely the tribe of Amalek, right? They're living in the land of Israel right now, calling it their own, saying that they're the Israelites, saying that they're the Jews, and they're the real people, when they're actually not, right? And let's get another prophecy here before I close out. Further proving that these people are not the people. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 4, right? Actually, let me start at verse 2, right? It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, right? Exalted above the hills, meaning exalted above all nations, right? When Israel is going to be above everybody once again, right? And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will speak in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, right? And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords, right? And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up the sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Right? So this is a prophecy right here that when the Israelites are back in the land of Israel, that there is going to be no more war. Right? But what do we see today? We see Israel about to go to war with Palestine. We see China about to go to war with Taiwan. We see Russia in the war with Ukraine. We see all of these other proxy wars and things going on with the Taliban, with the Al-Qaeda and things like this, man. And we see wars going on all across the world. But in the scriptures, it says that when the nation of Israel is back in the land, that there shall be war no more. Proving to you that those people are not the people. Those people in the land right now, in the land of Israel, are frauds. They're fakers, imposters, right? Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.